Good evening. Welcome to the Yorktown Central School District Board of Education meeting for June 3rd, 2019. I have a motion to go into executive session for the matters pertaining to the employment history of a particular individual and negotiations under the Taylor Law.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Good evening. Welcome to the Yorktown Central School District Board of Education meeting for June 3rd, 2019. Can we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silence for our armed forces and those in our community who have lost loved ones, especially the father of Susan Berry, the mother-in-law of Diana Carson, the mother of Deborah Lewis, the sister of Mario Cruz, and the father of Jose Reyes. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Thank you. We have a full house tonight. We're going to do public comment on agenda-related items only. Anybody wishing to speak? All right. We're going to go right to the superintendent's report. Ron, it's all
Well, we
on
have
you.
a very special night ahead of us. I'm going to just excuse myself from here and make my way over to the podium. Good evening to members of the Board of Education. Good evening to Ms. Carbone, Ms. Bose, Mr. D'Alessandro, Ms. Reynolds, Ms. Roll, Mr. Magnani, and Mr. Passaggi can't join us this evening, but they send their regards as well. Good evening to my colleagues, both from district office and from each of our schools. It's wonderful to have you joining us this evening. I especially would like to welcome our wonderful school partners to our second annual School Partner Recognition Night. It's a special evening for our district and for us to be able to formally acknowledge and honor the outstanding work of so many wonderful volunteers will make for a wonderful celebration this evening. Your service to our district is so deeply appreciated. You give countless hours to support the work of teaching and learning in the Yorktown schools, and we're grateful to you. And we'll actually see an example of that this evening when the Foundation for Excellence presents their grant awardees, and so many organizations partnered to support the grant applications, and we're just thrilled to have that. There's a quote that I especially like, and I've used it before. It's by William Arthur Ward, and it says, "Feeling gratitude, not expressing it, is like wrapping a present but not giving it." Today and every day, we say thank you to our school partners. I applaud you. So as we were brainstorming, how do we appropriately acknowledge people who take on these superhero personas? You're so busy throughout the course of your lives. Don't think for a moment that the Board of Education, my team and I don't realize how busy you are. You have your own families, work, your own lives, and you're supporting your children at home. Yet you find a way to give of your time day in, day out. You find a way to prioritize the work of the district and the work of our children. Please know that we are very aware of the sacrifices that you make and the commitment that you make to be here for our students, and we appreciate that. You're superheroes. You really are. And this evening, we've invited our Mildred E. Strang Middle School Orchestra to really cement that superhero theme tonight. They're going to be playing a really fun piece for you, and it's called the DC Comics Superheroes. So at this point, I'll turn it over to Mrs. Torrente and her orchestra for DC Comics Superheroes.
Like it.
Thank you all of you for your support of our students and our district. So tonight, this is a part of our 8th grade orchestra here from Middle School, and I'm playing a viola tonight because Andreas here. Andreas, say hi. Andreas is our only violist here, and I told him I would help him out tonight so that he didn't feel so lonely. And so, but he is a superhero holding down the viola part all by himself. So if you see me going back and forth, that's what I'm doing.
That was absolutely terrific. I think I heard The Flash in there. I think I heard Supergirl in there as well, yes? And then there were two more that I may not have heard.
Thank you.
Well done. I always love to have our performing music groups here because I think they're just a very sound reminder as to why we do what we do. Why do we take away time from our own families, and why do we invest our own time that is so precious? It's for that outcome. It's for the work that goes in, and while that's performing music, whether it's science research, whether it's athletics, or whether it's for a PTA event, that's why we do what we do. And I really admire the work of all of our students. At this time, I would like to acknowledge each of our school partner groups and invite the president and his or her executive board to the podium. I've asked the president of each group to say just a few words about what they were most proud of for the 18-19 school year. We also have a just small token of our appreciation. You know how practical I am, so I think you'll find what's in there pretty practical. If you need more of the contents, just let me know and we can figure something out. But at this time, and again, in no particular order, I think this is the order and the responses that we received, so it's not that we love any group more than the other. This is just the order of the responses that came back. So I will begin by inviting Ron Fideli, District PTSA President, to the podium.
Thank you so much, Dr. Howder and members of the Board of Education. This year has been a really great year for me. Thank Maria O'Connor, our Vice President. I think, being president at the district level this year was able to really make me see from a different perspective how different groups can work together and how you're not just in a building, you're all together. This year we had the Wizards again, which we were able to bring to the school about 4 or 5 years ago, and I see Lisa Tomini in the audience, and I have to thank her because she was the one who really was able to bring that to us. And I would not be able to do what I was doing this year without following her footsteps and her guidance. So again, this is what we all do. We all come together, we work together. A few things this year, it might sound simple, but we finally got K to 8 to get the same picture company, the same photographer. And we're all, now, we were going to maybe make that die, but Lisa, Tom, and I looked at each other and said, let's give this dead horse one more life. And we tried and tried, and we got all 4 of our schools to come together and use the same vendor, which is going to be a great give back to the community, because if you have students in more than one building, hopefully you'll get a little discount. It makes it streamlined. So I'm very proud of the fact that we all came together and we were able to do that. Obviously the Wizards, for all of us who worked on the Wizard Committee, we know what that entails. For a few weeks, we don't see our families, we see each other, and we become a bigger PTA family. We're going to do the Renegades this year as a district, so if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, they're still on sale online. Working with FFE a little bit, unfortunately I couldn't do as much as I would like, but going around and putting balloons around the community, what a great idea Chris and her committee had. So to be a part of that was wonderful. Ask, I see Liz there, what they do for all of our children. So I'm very thankful that in doing the role that I have now, being able to become working better with all the community groups, the partners, and again, it's all for our children. And I can't thank the board and Dr. Hatter enough for everything that they're doing for our children. So thank you.
Thank you, Ron. At this time, I'd like to invite the representatives from the Yorktown High School PTSA to come up to the stage. I saw Mrs. Raniolo, Ms. Milhaven, and Ms. Tomini here. Welcome. Give it to somebody not speaking.
Okay. Good evening. My name is Laura Lee Milhaven, and I'm the president-elect of the YHS PTSA. I've had the privilege to work alongside President Teresa Ryan-Onitsevich, Vice President Claudine Raniolo, Secretary Maria Roll, Treasurer Kristen Severino, and Delegate Lisa Tomini this school year. At YHS, we see the students as they are preparing to graduate from the wonderful YCSD community and transition to the next step in their journeys towards their future goals. This year, we have continued to work closely with the YHS Guidance Department as well as teachers to provide students and parents with a variety of resources to help this important but often confusing and frustrating time feel more manageable. At our meetings, we have informative speakers presenting valuable resources on topics such as financial aid, Naviance, and college admissions process. Throughout the year, we also facilitate affordable and effective review classes for increased success on the SATs and the ACTs. We feel grateful and honored to partner with such an amazing and dedicated community of teachers, staff, administrators, and Board of Education members. Thank you for all you do for our students, our families, and for our community.
Thank you, Yorktown High School. At this time, I'd like to invite Ms. Davis and Ms. Ropke up, and any other members of their board who are joining us this evening from the Crampon PTA.
Hi, I am Erin Rupke, and I'm co-president at Crampon. This is Trish Davis, my sidekick. We have Roseanne Brackett, who is our recording secretary, and Dana Alongi, who is our district delegate. We also have Cindy Cuenca, who couldn't be here tonight. She is our corresponding secretary. And we have Erin Gouven, who is our vice president, who also could not join us. And Jen Raimondo, our wonderful treasurer, who is at lacrosse and can't be here tonight also. Thank you.
I just want to welcome everybody, say hello on behalf of the Crampon PTA. Erin and I were so proud this year to be able to contribute and support the amazing Crampon staff. By the way, talk about superheroes. And we're thrilled to have helped provide wonderful programs for our students, including Fright Night, eSTEAM after-school programs, the school play, One Book, One School, Colonial Day encampment, just to name a few. And as of most recent, we are extremely proud of gifting the Mindful Garden to Crampon and its students so that they have another option during recess. Thank you to the phenomenal Crampon staff, Dr. Roberts, Mr. Abdeck, and all the teachers, down to the custodians. Everyone is amazing. You will be missed, and we feel so lucky to have been part of this crew this year. And thank you for the laughter, most important. Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to welcome members of the middle school PTA, Mildred E. Strang Middle School PTA. I saw Mrs. Tomany here. I saw Mrs. O'Connell. I see Mrs. Imperato here. Please join us at the podium. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Is this working? Okay. So I have Maria O'Connell here, who will be the president next year. Kathy Imperato, who served as the vice president this year. We had a wonderful executive board, some of whom could not be with us today. Lisa Bucalo, the treasurer. Lori Kinsaga, our recording secretary. Megan Whalen, our corresponding secretary. And Jeanette Capshaw, our delegate. So I thank them for their support. I think first and foremost, I feel so fortunate to be able to work with such a wonderful, dedicated and committed group of parent volunteers, administration, and staff that really spend a lot of time trying to think about how best to support our students, especially now that they're older. So it's a little bit more hands-off, but we're still looking for ways to support them. I guess in terms of what I'm most proud of is maybe the strengthening of the day-to-day. How do we address a situation or enrich the experience of our students? I know we've done a lot of things last minute this year that have gone over really well, the 7th grade assembly, as well as collecting classroom supplies for our teachers. So I just hope that we continue to be able to find ways collaboratively to work together and help our students. So I thank the administration and all the staff for being so willing to talk and find solutions that really, really help our students. Thank you.
This time I'd like to welcome the Brookside PTA to the podium. I saw Mrs. DeBrino, and any other members of the executive board who are here are welcome to join Ms. DeBrino.
Hello, my name is Sharon DeBrino, and I am the PTA president at Brookside for this past year. With me, I have Maria Sage, who is our vice president, Michelle Benlin, our treasurer, Shelby Graff, our recording secretary, and not with us is Julie Wan, our correspondence secretary, and Avia Pearson, who is our president-elect for next year. I wanted to start off by thanking Dr. Hatter, Mrs. O'Shea, Mr. Cole, Mrs. Amerling, Mr. Casarini, and the Board of Education for the support you have given us. This has been a wonderful year for us in the PTA. We are so proud of many of the activities and events we had this year. One event we are especially proud of was our fun run. This event was a highly successful fundraiser for the school. In addition to being fun, it also supported our character education program. The students were able to solve mysteries and participate in a fun run, which encouraged health and fitness. The students were very engaged in the week-long event and learned a lot, and we are so grateful to the parent community for the support they gave us as we are able to use these funds to support Brookside students. Thank you again for all your support, and we look forward to another terrific year. Thank you.
Next, I'd like to introduce our special education PTA, and I saw Ms. Collins here, I saw Ms. Mines, I saw Ms. Murata, and any other members of the executive board are welcome to join us.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. So I was so not prepared to say something. Surprise, surprise, learning curve. First, I guess just from the start of it, 3 community moms walking into this knowing nothing about a PTA. I think that I could say for us, we are pretty surprised by ourselves. So this year was so exciting. Oh, first, let me do this. This is Jessica Bynes. She's our treasurer this year. Julie Murata is our recording secretary. And Ms. Christine Dunn, who is also a proud member of FFE, is our district delegate. There you go, ladies. You're welcome. But we had numerous amounts of events. We had, oh, and wait, I'm sorry. I would also like to thank Mr. Rosen and Mrs. Almeida, who I don't think is here, for being, oh yes, you are here, for being a complete backbone for us. Going into this, again, we had no idea what to do, what to give to the parents, what to do for our kids, and we've been able to raise enough funds and hold events that we're actually giving 2 $500 scholarships to graduating seniors tomorrow night. We've been able to help FFE by helping them with their grants, putting money towards that. It's just been an enriching and fulfilling experience this year. I can't even express my gratitude to the community for supporting us and coming out to our events and our speakers, and it's very overwhelming. So, I mean, and I would like to thank the district level. I would like to thank Ms. O'Shea, Mr. Cole, and obviously Dr. Hatter. Again, we really couldn't have done this without all of you guys, so hats off to you. Would you girls like to say anything? No? Okay. Thank you.
At this time, and they'll be making a second trip to the podium, but at this time I'd like to call the Foundation for Excellence representatives here. I saw Mrs. Menikow, Ms. Dunn here, Ms. Boylan, Ms. Schluter, is she here? Is that all? Oh, Schluter's here, okay.
Good evening. With me, Ms. Christine Dunn, my vice president. My name is Chris Menikow, president of the Foundation for Excellence, and our awesome treasurer, Ms. Missy Schluter, making sense of all this crazy stuff we do. I think we're going to come up a little bit later and talk about more of what the Foundation for Excellence does, and we're going to be presenting all of the amazing teachers, many of which who are here tonight that will be accepting grant money from the foundation this year. I think what we are most proud of in the past couple of years is trying to give more options for the community to come together to help the teachers. This year, For example, we had our family portrait day, we've had a wine tasting, our main event usually has some kind of fun theme. We have done a food drive that generated an awful lot of food for one of our local pantries here in the community. Our camp night gives students and parents an opportunity to come out and look at camp options. And the biggest endeavor I think that we've done thus far was starting This Green Balloon. This was the first year for This Green Balloon, which he is not here right now, but I have to give a total and official shout out to David Leese, because This Green Balloon would not have happened without David Leese. A self-proclaimed data nerd, Dave was responsible for dropping every address of every donee onto a Google map and totally and seamlessly doing routes for all of our volunteers who got up at 5:30 in the morning that Saturday and ran all over town with balloons flying all over the place and tied them to your mailboxes. It was an awful lot of fun, and through that effort, we did raise over $4,000 for the foundation this year. And the buzz was kind of cool. It was great. One of our members gave us a call and said, my mailman just said, "What's going on in town today? What's with all the green balloons?" And I was like, yes, it's a grassroots movement. It's working. So look forward to that next year, and hopefully it just gets bigger and bigger. But that would probably be, I think, what we're the most proud of. We try to make it fun. So, keep an eye on us and keep an eye on the events, and we hope to see you guys around the community next year. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. At this time, I'd like to invite Dr. Boyer, and I see Ms. Weaver here. I'd like to invite you to the podium to acknowledge the Huskers Club and any other members of your executive board.
Good evening, everybody. Good to see all of you again. I hope everything's well. Good evening. I'm Jay Boyer. I'm the president of the Husker Sports Club, and Debbie Weaver, our recording secretary, that's with me tonight. Every year it seems to be one accomplishment after another for the Huskers and the students, our student athletes, what they've accomplished, and it's with a lot of excitement that we always seem to come up with new projects. This year we'll be giving out a whole bunch of scholarship money next week at our senior sports dinner event. That's always a highlight of the year. So more than ever, we'll be having more money going out to the student athletes that are there, along with a variety of different projects that we've undertaken. Our concession trailer is still thriving and going great. It's rocking along very well, and it's every year seems to get better and better with new ideas and new functions. But we're here. Our strength comes in the good people that volunteer, and we can't do this without the good parents of a lot of the students who help volunteer and give of their time to help with a lot of the different events, the tournaments that we help support, the concession trailer that we see out there all the time. So a big shout out and thank you to all the parents who have had volunteered. And if you have students coming into the high school next year and you want to be involved, please reach out to us. We'd be more than willing to have you help out with us. It'd be great, and welcome aboard. And I want to just say thank you again. And every year our student athletes seem to be accomplishing more and more, and our coaches seem to be doing a great job with everything that they've done and all the accomplishments. So good kudos to the athletes as well as all the coaches. Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to invite Ms. Graff to the podium to represent the First Nighters, and any members of the executive board are welcome to also join us at the podium.
Hello. With me, I have Gemma Reinkraut. She is our secretary, and Megan Bartok will be our treasurer next year. The First Nighters is a parent support group for the performing arts programs in Yorktown schools. We advocate for arts programs in the schools, raise funds to provide wish lists for teachers, organize the annual Performing Arts Recognition Banquet for juniors and seniors, and provide scholarship awards to outstanding seniors in the performing arts. It is our honor and pleasure to highlight the talented student performers and wonderful teachers in the Yorktown School District. And of course, we're proud of all the performances this year: Little Mermaid, the Character Breakfast, and all the band and the orchestra and the tech crew and the dance company, and they did a great job this year. Thank you for your support.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to call the representatives from the Science Research Foundation. I see Mrs. Anand here, Ms. Viswanathan, Mr. Holmes, Ms. Shah, Ms. Guarini. You're welcome to join me at the podium. Give it to whoever's not speaking.
Good evening, everyone. I think it's a great sign that our full board is here today. It's Radha and I were co-presidents. Kathy was secretary. Am I audible? Kathy Guarini, Keith Holmes, and Toril Shah. It's a pleasure being here representing the Science Research Program here this evening. Quick overview, it's a program open to all high school students who come in as freshmen. All that they need to do is complete a series of tasks, tending to be around reading and writing and all that, and all that's gauged is their work ethic and passion to do what they do, and then they become eligible to become science research students from the sophomore year onwards. From that starting point, many of them go on to win awards at the regional, state, national, international level, and a credit for a lot of this goes to our two phenomenal teachers who bring vision, passion, and an extraordinary degree of commitment to help each of our students grow. Whoever was at the symposium last week, the Science Research Symposium, would have heard the seniors mention that these teachers are student advocates when they go for mentor meetings. They are motivational gurus before the competitions and sympathetic counselors post-competition to keep things in perspective. And the thing to remember with all this is each of the students is doing very individualized projects. They get to pick what they work on. It's the only class in school where you get to do that. And so the teachers are handling each of the students for their particular projects, and they are dealing with a variety of temperaments of each teenage student who is going through the stress of being a science research student. What does the foundation do in this? Because the students do so much inside and outside the school, and the teachers do so much inside, outside the school during the school year and the summer, we try to do our part to keep things going smoothly, ease things a little bit. And consistently, there have been ways in which parent volunteers have helped with being judges, poster preparation, reading the papers that go for submission, and things like that. This year, depending on fundraising each year, we also try and provide some resource that gives our students a competitive edge. And this year, what was done was we started changing some of the boards, which have been very heavy boards, and most of the seniors got lighter boards this year. Not only did the foundation provide the funds, Keith was awesome about doing most of the carpentry himself, so that's hands-on help right there. And I was also particularly thrilled that this got me to say that that pretty much captures what the foundation does, literally and figuratively. We lighten the load for the students and teachers wherever possible. And I think that's pretty much it. Anybody else want to add anything else to it?
I think I just wanted to add, I've had the distinct pleasure of having both my kids go through this amazing program here at Yorktown Heights. I've also, served on the board for a few years. It's a very premier program. It's an amazing program, and I think we are very privileged to have this at Yorktown Heights. It actually inculcates the art of appreciating science among high school students. It's not something that comes easy, and I just feel more than all the benefits that we talk about, two things that I would like to highlight that the kids take away with them for life is their art of communication and time management skills. It goes with them for life. They're able to kind of gauge their audience and articulate their thoughts in a very effective manner, to pour over large volumes of scientific journals and kind of extract what they want out of it and share it with their peers, mentors. It's an amazing skill. And to look at deadlines and not panic, pace themselves, and actually approach them in an organized manner, it's a skill that's with them for life. So we couldn't do it without the amazing support that we get from the teachers, from the Board of Education. The teachers go over and beyond and inspire each and every child to kind of perform at their maximum potential. So it's very individualized that way, and thanks to everything that the teachers offer to the children.
Thank you. And last but not least, I'd like to call Mrs. Talbert and Ms. Ruvo to the podium to represent the Alliance for Safe Kids. Did I skip Mohansick? Oh, I skipped Mohansick. That's why I had one more bag left. I was wondering why.
So we're not last. Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Hatter, and to the Yorktown Central School District Board for this recognition. Marianne Ruvo, who is a board member of ASK, could not be with us this evening, but I do have a very familiar face with me, Karen Profita, who has been on the ASK board for many, many years. ASK is thrilled to have partnered with so many in this room throughout the year as we successfully connected the community to important programs and resources on the topics of youth mental health and substance use and abuse. We're grateful to the school district, the PTAs, the civic groups, the town, and every sector in the community that works together with ASK to keep our youth and families informed and empowered to make the best choices for themselves. It really does take a village, and by continuing to work together, we collectively strengthen the safety net that protects our youth. So one achievement that I'd like to mention is Save a Life 2019 that was held at Yorktown High School. On a Sunday afternoon in March, over 450 came together for an impactful afternoon of presentations, interactive workshops, and informative exhibits that covered a variety of topics. Now, it's hard to quantify prevention, to know how a mind may have been eased by information that an individual received, or how a family may have been helped by being pointed in the right direction for support if they may be dealing with a mental health issue, and know the true impact that the Save Life Forum has. But if you look at the video on our website, or if you get our emails, you'll receive it tomorrow, that was put together by a Yorktown High School WISE student, Taylor Geis. You'll see the faces and hear from community members and volunteer presenters and exhibitors that came together with one common goal on a Sunday afternoon: to support and empower our youth and families. So I'd like to thank the Yorktown Central School District for their hospitality in hosting Save a Life 2019, and to let them know that we're coming back on March 22nd, 2020. Thank you very much.
ASK has been such a wonderful partner. It's been so great to work with Liz this year. We've organized some wonderful programs in tandem, and I appreciate her partnership, as I appreciate all of your partnerships. Of course, I forgot the PTA of the school where my children attend, so that's just so fitting. You know what it is? I think Dana and Roseanne, I saw you up here with Crompond, and that's where the block was. So at this time, I'd like to acknowledge Dana Lange and Roseanne Brackett from the Mohansick PTA and any members of their board.
Thank you, Dr. Hatter. We will happily be last but not least. With me tonight is my amazing co-president, Roseanne Brackett, our treasurer, Corinne LaJudas, and our recording secretary, Karen Cesny. Our members that could not be here tonight: Rosa Torres, our corresponding secretary, Meredith Jacobitz, our vice president, and the ever-present Brenna Kaplan, who is our delegate. The thing that I would say Roseanne and I are most proud of is the true collaboration that happens with Mrs. Berry and Miss O'Neill and all of the staff and the district to bring our children every event and school function that we can think of. We start off with our back-to-school party. We have our trunk or treat program. We bring a holiday sale. Our dances for our children. We do 2 grade level dances. Our One School, One Program, One Book program this year, we were able to bring a Caldecott award-winning author illustrator to do some amazing presentations for our children. And it all culminated today, just this morning, in our fun run. Thank you, Brookside. And we are so happy to be able to give back to our students and our district. And we helped partner with the foundation to fund a grant, and we are so excited to bring some much needed playground structures to Mohansick. So thank you.
Thank you so much to our school volunteers. I'm just so grateful to to you for everything that you do. And I say that not only as a superintendent who oversees the day-to-day operations of the district, I say that to you as a parent as well. You provide programs for all the children, my own children included, and I couldn't be more grateful on this side of the conversation for the work that you do. Thank you so much. I just want to applaud all of our groups just one more time. You deserve it. Another such group of volunteers who play an integral role in the governance of our school district is our wonderful Board of Education. Yorktown is, yes. And I tell you this, and those of you who know me know how sincere and just how forthcoming I am. We are so fortunate to have 7 extremely talented people who so generously and graciously volunteer their time for the betterment of the school district and the betterment of our community. There are so many things that you know about our board, especially if you watch our board meetings, if you're the person who watches our board meetings on TV or on YouTube. They come together twice per month for anywhere between 2 and 4 hours for meetings and work sessions. They ask questions, they provide updates, they provide recommendations, they celebrate the great work happening in our school district. What you likely don't see are the 3-hour policy meetings that we sit in on monthly, so that the board ensures that our district policies are consistent with best practice and the ever-changing school law and state education department requirements. You likely won't see the dozens of hours our steering committee invests each year to ensure that our facilities are commensurate with the high-quality education taking place within the walls of each school building. You may not see the dozens of hours spent poring over voluminous audit reports to ensure that we are responsible stewards of taxpayer monies. You likely won't see the many hours they invest on weekends to review each and every report, safety inspection, budget document, and memorandum addressed to the school district. We have a terrific board in Yorktown, and from my perspective, they are just such a pleasure to work with. In front of the board is a small token of appreciation for the work that you do in the Yorktown Central School District. It's a magnetic calendar, so it's in your bags as well. If anyone wants the rights for fundraising those magnetic calendars in the years to come, we can talk. And also for the members of our Board of Education, there's a certificate of recognition signed by Westchester Putnam School Boards Association President Lisa Davis to acknowledge your service to the Yorktown Central School District. I thank you for your dedication and service. This evening, we're also recognizing the recipients of Foundation for Excellent grants. I want to take a moment to first thank the teachers for seeking out supplemental funding sources to support the creative and innovative ideas that you have for your students. I'd also like to thank Chris Manical and her team and the Foundation for Excellence for all of their work in supporting our students, faculty, staff, and district. They are such a tremendous resource to our schools, and I really value their partnership and their effort. At this time, I'd like to welcome Ms. Manical to the podium so that she may address the board on this year's Foundation for Excellence grants, and her board is welcome to join her.
Good evening again. I've reached the age where the glasses go on and the glasses come off. The Foundation for Excellence was founded in 1993 to award grants to educators for developing timely, innovative, and creative projects that enrich the educational process at the Yorktown Central School District. This year, the Foundation for Excellence received 32 grant submissions, and they were representing all 5 schools in our district. There was over $100,000 of amazing ideas that was presented to the Foundation for Excellence this year. It was a very competitive grant season. Each year, we do receive far more grants than we can support. And for this reason, we do reach out to the Yorktown Central School District Administration. We reach out to the school PTAs, the YHS PTSA, SEPTA, and the Husker Sports Club to give them an opportunity to assist us in funding the grants that are specific to their curriculum, to their school, to their organization. And because of that, the Foundation for Excellence on their own raising $21,703.80, and with our funding partners, another $17,626.41. And the help of the district, Over $22,000 was donated was helped out with the foundation to the district as well. So, the really cool thing about all of these grants, and it is timely, innovative, creative, and in the process of really giving the teachers the opportunity to kind of run with it and come up with what they think would be really awesome for their kids. The grants this year reflect math, science, performing arts, literacy. It's all there. It's all there, and it's all really, really cool. So what we would like to do is just give a brief overview of all the grants that were funded, and when we do announce the submitted teacher, if you could please stand and be recognized, we would really appreciate that. And then we will invite everybody up to take a picture with the big fancy check. And SEPTA has a fancy check too, so very exciting. So this year, and we will let you know which organizations did help out with the grants. So, without further ado, sequencing and coding for the kindergarten. Robot mouse code and Code and Go and Osmo Genius kits will be used at Brookside on the kindergarten level, and this grant was submitted by Miss Amanda McAmey, if she's here. Thank you. Lots of Legos, lots of calls for Legos here in the school district this year. And what we have actually decided to do, this year we did a fundraiser, a community event fundraiser where we did a food drive. We did it in conjunction with our camp night, and it was a wonderful success. People showed up, they donated food, they went to see camps. So we came up with this idea to maybe do a neighborhood drive every year with the gigantic call for Legos, and I think everybody in this room probably has a box of Legos sitting in their basement that people aren't using anymore. I think what we're gonna do is a Lego drive next year. So this would invite all families to come and donate their unused Legos, and then all of those Legos could be washed by the kids and sorted, and then we can give them out to all the schools that they can use them to help. They always use them more in school. It's so exciting. So Lots of Legos is a program that will spark creativity and developing critical thinking using Lego kits. The kits will be used in the K-2 classrooms and in the e-STEAM shops at the Mohansick School and the Brookside School. These two grants were submitted almost exactly by Ms. Jennifer Salduti and Ms. Lori Foley. The flexible classroom will use flexible seating to provide alternative methods to self-regulate behavior, increase engagement, and improve academic performance, and this was submitted by Ms. Carol McAleer. Another flexible seating classroom will help create student-centered classrooms and encourage students to find their best place to be calm and centered and productive. I'm gonna come join you, Miss Margaret Dodona, because I could use that myself. There we go. The Mildred E. Strang Marching Band submitted a grant to expand their percussion department, percussion section, and that was submitted by Mr. Patrick Harris and Mr. Nathan Childers. The Build and Fly Engineering and Design program will purchase DIY models and drone kits to develop skills in science, technology, engineering, and math in grade 4 at the Crampon School. Students will also collaborate to develop their problem-solving and innovative thinking skills, submitted by Ms. Adele Kibble and Ms. Carrie Burns. The Yorktown High School Choir Commission, the Yorktown High School Choir will collaborate with a composer, Mr. Michael Trotta, who they did a piece for this past year. Mr. Trotta will be coming to the high school to meet with the students, get a feel for their voices, where their strengths are, their weaknesses, and he will be collaborating with them and writing a specific choral piece just for the Yorktown High School Choir. They will perform that in spring, winter, spring, probably. During the workshop, students will deepen their knowledge of music theory, music interpretation, as well as the inner workings of music composition, submitted by Ms. Andrea Stock. Lego Mindstorm was a project to enrich the grade 4 students' knowledge of robotics and challenge them to explore and excel in robotic design, also submitted by Ms. Adele Kibble and Ms. Carrie Burns. And the Climate of Growth, which is a grade 4 and 5 student introductory project. We're rolling it out slowly. It will be introducing the 4th and the 5th grade students to aquaponics, which is a self-sustaining farming method using fish tanks. And that was also submitted by Ms. Adele Kibble and Ms. Elizabeth Floor. Hey, if the creative juices are flowing. The following grants were co-sponsored or sponsored with ourselves and our partner organizations in Yorktown. The Teen Brain was co-funded by the Yorktown High School PTSA and the FFE. This program will be delivered by renowned neuroscientist Dr. Stephen Dewey. He will present the science of understanding how addictive substances and behaviors affect developing adolescent brain. It will be delivered to the entire Yorktown High School student body in a small group setting over the course of 3 days, and this was submitted by Mr. DeGennaro. Yarning for Mindfulness was co-funded by SEPTA and the Foundation for Excellence. This is a collaborative endeavor between Ms. Livermore's Skills and Achievement students at the Yorktown High School, Mrs. Shiland's 5th grade class, and our technology specialist, Mrs. Burns. The project will enable students to work jointly to understand the principles of mindfulness, perseverance, patience, and social skills. And it will also strengthen their fine motor skills through the development of knitting skills. The students will work with trained knitting and crocheting instructor, and they will also integrate literacy instruction because they will be using the novel Esperanza Rising as a backdrop for the whole activity. This was submitted by Beth Livermore, Joan Shiland, and Amanda Burns. The Sensory Pathways was also being co-funded by the SEPTA and FFE. Children, we know, are better able to focus, concentrate, and complete tasks when they have movement breaks throughout the day. Sensory Pathways are a series of decals that are placed on the floors and the walls throughout the school hallways. As children move their way through the classes of the day, they will transition through a variety of physical and cognitive stimulation. And these will be placed in both the Brookside and the Mohansick School, submitted by Susan Berman and Eric Soldano. Mohansick Grade 3 Calming Kits was co-funded by the Mohansick PTA and SEPTA. This project will provide every Mohansick classroom with a calming kit. I'm sensing a theme here. Each kit is a collection of sensory regulation items that will be used in a variety of ways to support the students throughout the day who may demonstrate feelings of unease, frustration, anxiety, sadness, and overstimulation. They will provide positive methods for students to learn and practice strategies to calm themselves so that optimal well-being and learning can occur. This was submitted by, and I am so sorry, Ms. Harriet, Zos Kuklis, Katie Wordsman, and Erin O'Neill. Thank you. The abdominal strength training grant was funded in total by the Yorktown Husker Sports Club. We're very thankful for that. Hammer strength abdominal bench and an ab coaster 3000. These new machines will be accessible to all of the students at Yorktown High School through the athletics and the fitness units in PE. This modern equipment will allow the students to manipulate core training with programmable fitness. Core training yields better full body strength, mind, and health. Submitted by Mr. Resigno. Not Mr. Resigno. Iron Will Sustainable Nutrition was funded in total by the MES-MS PTA. This will be weekly lessons offered to the Strang students over the course of 5 months during the lunch periods. Students will be active participants in food and garden labs. They'll grow their own herbs and vegetables, creating sustainable recipes and serving as the cafeteria composters. This will develop critical thinking skills in the context of nutrition, healthy eating, and how their carbon footprint will affect the environment. This was submitted by, Lisa Epstein, Laura Tolosi, and Brian Todd. East Team in the Fax Room was also funded by the MES-MS PTA. This grant will help expand the home and careers curriculum for 7th grade students. It will also introduce a hydroponic wall tower garden to allow students to explore sustainable farming by growing and preparing herbs and vegetables in the recipes that they develop themselves. Submitted by Ms. Bernadette Gannon. Almost there. The Hearts and Minds Reading Garden was funded by the Crampon PTA. This project will create an additional space in the Crampon recess area where students can participate in non-traditional recess activities, such as reading groups and guided yoga. It will also provide a welcoming outdoor space for students to socialize, especially those with emotional needs who often avoid the recess. This was submitted by Dr. Roberts and Mr. Avdek. The Yorktown Central School District was able to fulfill the following grants. Bouncy bands in the classroom are thick rubber bands that are added to desk legs that allow the students to move while they're working, enabling them to alleviate anxiety, hyperactivity, and boredom, increasing their concentration. Submitted by Sue Sabella and Allie Cook. The U.S. History DBQ project is a collection of curated sources which will aid U.S. history students in exploring periods of history in depth and allow them to make connections across various time periods. This project expands the students' analytical skills and application of knowledge through hands-on use of primary and secondary sources. This was submitted by Ms. Amanda Gusick on behalf of the U.S. History teaching team at YHS. Breakout EDU is a team-building activity where students work together to solve clues and answer questions that are designed to allow students to think critically, collaborate, be creative, and improve their communication skills. Similar to an escape room, the students use curricular questions and answers to gain access to rewards. This was submitted also by Ms. Amanda Gusick at YHS. And finally, the engineering laser cutter. This laser cutter will support the Project Lead the Way initiative to incorporate specific engineering curriculum at the Yorktown High School, and this was submitted by John Bronzy and Stephen Meltz. So when it's all said and done, we got 32 grants with one at $100,000, and we were able to, in part or in total, fund 21 grants for over $60,000 with the help of everybody in this room. Very exciting. All right, so at this time, and of course, we would be nowhere without our volunteers. Thank you, Christine. There's a lot that goes on. Everybody who's part of volunteering knows about this, you know, and we are a small but mighty group, and we're always looking for more fun people to come on out and help us out, as we all are. But we do. We have a small group of about 10 volunteers that really help us more than we could ever ask. And we're also really grateful for Dr. Hatter and the YCSD and the amazing support of the partner organizations this year. It's awesome. Like, you guys, we did an awful lot of good stuff this year, and there's a lot of really awesome stuff happening with the kids that we're really, really, really proud of. So thank you very much. So if you are a teacher that received a grant, please come on up. If you are a member of one of our partner organizations that helped us out, we want to take a big pic of everybody. So if you all could come up for a second and we'll take a picture with the big check. And SEPTA's got their big check. Bring the big check. Bring the check. Thank you.
Thank you all so much. This was a wonderful, wonderful evening. I appreciate all the teachers who came out to be acknowledged for their grants. I appreciate the partner organizations, and I appreciate most of all the collaboration between the organizations. That's what makes Yorktown so great. That's what makes our community so special. It's an honor to be a part of it and be on this journey with you together as parents in this great community. Thank you so much. And at this point, we have a whole meeting agenda that is set to continue. So we're going to take a quick 5-minute recess. It'll give you the opportunity to head home, or you're welcome to stay if you'd like. It's a wonderful meeting.
Ron, thank you. That was a wonderful night. It was very good. So we go on to the rest of the meeting. We're going to go to board action items. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes for the April 29th meeting?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? A motion to approve the treasurer's report for April 2019?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? A motion to approve the extra classroom report for April 2019?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? This is a motion to approve the amended time for the annual organizational meeting on July 8, 2019. Yvette, you got to change that time, that date. Resolved upon recommendation of the superintendent of schools, board sets the 2019-20 annual organizational meeting for Monday, July 8, 2019 at 5 p.m. at the Mildred East Strang Middle School.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We're going to do policy. A second. A motion to approve the second reading and adoption of the following regulation. It's 6830R, expense reimbursement regulation.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? We are going to have some deletions. Be it resolved that the following policies shall be deleted from the policy manual because they've been combined into one policy. 5210, student organizations and clubs. This is 5251, fundraising by school-sponsored organizations and clubs, and 5252, student activities fund management.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? First reads. We're going to conduct first reading on the following policies. 5210, student organizations and clubs. 6400, deposit of funds. 9620, child abuse in an education setting. Did anybody have any questions or comments on them? Okay. We're going to go on to personnel. We have a resolution. Upon recommendation of the superintendent, the following resolution be approved. Be it resolved that the Board of Education hereby authorizes superintendent to establish the rate of $50 per hour effective July 1st, 2019 for summer school teachers not represented under the teachers unit of the Yorktown Congress of Teachers.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We have personnel. Upon recommendation and motion that the following be approved, we have under certified personnel, we have our 2019 summer extended school program. We have our 2019 summer reading program. Under other compensation, we have extra duty. We have additions to the substitute list. Under classified personnel, we have civil service appointments, and we have our 2019 summer extended school year program, additions to the substitute list, a police officer monitor, we have a resignation, and we have a resignation for the purpose of retirement.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Just a thank you to Pat Richardson, 31 years in the Yorktown schools. What commitment, what service, and we're so appreciative to Pat for many, many great years.
I'll give you that. Okay. Appointment. Data privacy officer. A motion to appoint David Lease as a data privacy officer for the 2018-19 school year.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Business office. Resolve the Board of Education hereby authorizes the board president to execute a contract with KSQ Architects to develop the 2020 5-year capital plan and building conditions survey. The contract will not exceed $119,258.
So moved. Second.
Discussion, just so everybody knows, this is a requirement every 5 years to do this. All right. All those in favor? Opposed? Be it resolved that the board ratifies the actions of the district clerk in appointing Martha Cupper-Smith as a bilingual election inspector for the May 21st, 2019 annual meeting due to the inability of the previously appointed individual to serve in that capacity.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Discussion?
Oh, go ahead.
So I just want to, I understand that there was some craziness that day with trying to get this bilingual inspector due to last-minute cancellation, and from what Dr. Hatter told me, Yvette went above and beyond trying to get us that person so that we could proceed. So thank you for
She
what
went and
you did,
picked them
Yvette.
up. Yvette went above and beyond in the election period. She did a phenomenal job, so we thank her. All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Public comment. Public content. Budget transfers. A motion to approve the following budget transfers as listed below.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Food service. Whereas the Board of Education of the Yorktown Central School District requested bid proposals for a food service management company to operate and manage the school district's lunch program effective for the 1920 school year under the New York State Education Department Child Nutrition Program, and one proposal was received, which proposal was opened publicly on May 20, 2019. And whereas after analysis of the one bid by Aramark, it was recommended that Aramark be awarded the contract as the only bidder in compliance with the bid specifications. Therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Education awards the bid for a food service management company to operate and manage the school district's lunch program effective for the 1920 school year to Aramark as the only responsible and responsive bidder, and therefore be further resolved that the board president is authorized to execute the New York State Education Department Food Service Management Company contract and other related documents as necessary.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Health and welfare. A motion to approve the following contracts for the health and welfare services provided to resident pupils attending non-public schools in other districts for the 18-19 school year. This one is for Lakeland.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? A PNY BOCES contract resolved upon recommendation of the superintendent of schools. The Board of Education authorizes the execution of the 1920 initial contract for Putnam Northern Westchester BOCES services.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Student assistance, resolved upon recommendation of the superintendent, the Board of Education hereby authorizes the superintendent to execute an agreement with Student Assistance Services for assistance of a community-based organization to identify and prevent bullying in the district's middle school, not to exceed $99,660 for the 1920 school year, and resolved that upon recommendation of the superintendent, the Board of Education hereby authorizes the superintendent to execute an agreement with Student Assistance Services Corporation for the comprehensive educational prevention and intervention services in the amount of and not to exceed $74,150 for the 1920 school year for Yorktown High School.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion to approve the agreements for Dr. Louis Casoro, Dr. Eric Small, and AFC Urgent Care as school physicians for the 1920 school year pending receipt of required insurance documents.
So
So
moved.
moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? A motion to approve amendment number 1 to the agreement with the SES Study Team LEC entered on June 19, 2017 for professional services to provide the district with an update on the enrollment projection and school-wide demographic study in the amount not to exceed $3,000.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Placements, a motion to arrange the following placements for June 13, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Gifts, grants, and donations. A motion to accept with gratitude. Oh, I got to go back to one of them. Got to go back up to the first one, which we didn't do. Can we have a motion to approve the following gifts, grants, and donations from the Foundation for Excellence and the PTSAs?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Now we'll do the rest of them. For Yorktown High School, $15.66 from the New York Life Matching Employee Gift Program, $2,000 from IBM for the Yorktown High School Robotics Program, Yorktown Athletics, $1,000 from the Bob Sarro Foundation for the Bob Sarro Memorial Baseball Scholarship Senior Husker Dinner, $1,000 from the New York Community Trust for the Joseph Diascali Memorial Baseball Scholarship and the Coach Ruby Memorial Baseball Scholarship Senior Husker Dinner. Crampon, $260 for the 5th grade trip to the Klondike, and Brookside, $546 from the Brookside PTA for the Nature Things of Assembly.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? We're up to board comments. Anthony?
Doesn't matter. Tonight was wonderful. I mean, if I sit here and think of it, like the heart of the district is the kids and the administrators and the teachers, and the pulse of the district is the organizations and the volunteers. And we're alive and thriving tonight with all the volunteers and organizations that passed us by today. And it was amazing just to see it. And I just want to thank everyone who came tonight and all the hard work for just our kids and our district. And that's what keeps us all going, is to see what went on tonight and the kids running up and down the aisle. And, you know, the orchestra was just wonderful, lovely. So thank you to everybody that's here for organizing this. And it was one of the great nights again. Thank you.
Ashwin?
So I, like Anthony, I wanted to thank our school partners and also the Foundation for Excellence for funding our grants. They allow us to do so much more than what our budget provides. And our teachers are fantastic in terms of, staying on top of the learning curve and just identifying what their needs are in the classroom. Again, just beyond, what our school budget provides. So I thank them. The orchestra was, just beautiful. So thank you for a great evening. And thank you for the calendar. It is so helpful.
I thought tonight was a beautiful night. I think what we saw tonight was a fraction of really our whole community partner group, and I thank them all for being here, but I think we've all been in one of these organizations and know the blood, sweat, and tears that go into fundraising and providing the programming to supplement and enrich what our students get here in the district. So I really, from the bottom of my heart, because I know, and I know we all know, what goes into what they do. So I thank them for coming out tonight, and I thank them for what they do. And Dr. Hatter, I thank you for putting on this beautiful night, because it really is something special, and I think they really deserve, all of our applause and thanks that we can give them. And I think this is a nice way to celebrate them. So thank you.
So I just echo everything everybody said, and Dr. Hatter, thank you for the kind words you said about us. But really, we couldn't do it without you and Lisa and Tom and the rest of your team, and that's really what we are. It's a team, and it's all of us together, plus everybody in the community and all the other organizations that make us able to do all of the things that are shown in those banners behind you and all the new ones that need to get put up. So, thanks for everything you said about us.
Yeah, tonight was a wonderful night, and tonight is a night you brought to us, because we didn't have a partners night before that. So we've always appreciated our partners, but you've made it public, and I thank you for that. I want to thank everybody who came out to vote and passed our budget. Again, thank you, Yvette, because you do a yeoman's job. That's a huge job. It takes you a whole year to do it, we know it, and thank goodness we had power the whole time, but there's always a glitch, and you did a great job, so we really appreciate it. Cheryl, Lisa, Reshmi were all reelected, so we have another 3 years to go, so that's awesome, so thank you. That's it. Ron, Lisa, Tom, anything?
Just a thank you again to our school partners, to our board, and to our community for supporting our budget. It's a community, and that's what makes Yorktown so special and so beautiful. Your overwhelming support of our school budget and our trustees is well noted and certainly well appreciated. I thank you all. And we have one more meeting on June 17th before school lets out. That's where we'll be celebrating our retirees and our teachers who are celebrating a milestone anniversary in the district of 20, 25, and 30 years and beyond. So I encourage you to come out for that night. It's always a special night in our school district.
Lisa, Tom, we good? We're up to...
Actually, can I just say,
Yeah, absolutely.
There's so many reasons why I love working in Yorktown, and our school partners are certainly a big part of that. The people that we see day in and day out in many capacities supporting all the work that we do. It's so very much appreciated, and I did want to give my appreciation to the teachers. They really, when you look at the FFE grants that were given to us, the creativity and the forward thinking of our teachers is just so amazing. They're always thinking, what more can we do? What more can we bring? What experiences can we provide for our students? So I truly value all that our teachers do for us.
Okay, anybody wishing for public comment? So can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, good night, everyone.